In this series, I'll be spending 72 hours with Africa's last monkey-eating tribe.
This is a piece he's given me. I have no idea what part this is, and actually, I kind of like it that way. Can I? Yeah?
But first, let me back up. I came to Tanzania to learn about the day-to-day lives of some of their over 100 unique tribes.
You can sniff tobacco? What is going on here?
But no tribe here is quite like the Hadza. This is Africa's only remaining hunter-gatherer society, living now the way they lived thousands of years ago. Right now, I'm headed far from civilization, deep into the countryside to make first contact.
Here we've driven out pretty much to the middle of nowhere. We're gonna leave our vehicles here and here, and then we're gonna pack up all our stuff and put it on some donkeys. Where we're going, there are no roads.
My mission over the next 3 days is to document everything.
These are the arrows these guys are making every day. They use their mouth to kind of adjust it.
And do everything they do.
I'm probably bending it.
Hunt when they hunt. And eat when they eat.
As far as dessert goes, out here in the wild, you're not gonna get much more than this.
I want to see what one of the world's most ancient cultures can teach us all about life.
Right now we're walking to the Hadza camp. I have no idea how far that is. We're gonna find out soon.
From the beginning of their time, dating back thousands of years, the Hadza have been living in the Lake Eyasi Basin of northern Tanzania. Yet their first contact with the modern world occurred only 50 years ago.
How do you say hello?
Anabawa.
Nganabawa. Nganabawa.
Anabawa.
Nganabawa. I'm gonna have to work on that.
I'm welcomed by a group of Hadza hunters just steps away from their camp. Right now, they're preparing for lunch, which means this morning they've already been out hunting. Lucky for them, the hunt was a huge success.
Oh my God. Record, Jesus Christ. We've just walked into camp and this is what they're presenting right now.
This animal will serve as their protein for today.
Monkey. Oh, what is that? Is that an arrow?
An agile, quick, tree-dwelling creature shot with a homemade arrow by hand using techniques that go back centuries. This makes deer hunting with a rifle look cute.
Oh, wow. They gave me some new headwear and they said I'm welcome to sit down and eat with them if I'd like. Oh my God. He's showing me the hands. This is wild. Something like I've never seen before. Oh my God. I feel like I just went to a county fair and I got the worst prize ever. Well, I want the stuffed monkey. Well, it's a real one. Jesus Christ.
For those upset by this imagery, it's worth acknowledging that all of our ancestors lived in a way similar to this at some point in history. When you're here, you don't have to imagine how people lived thousands of years ago. You can see it for yourself. Cooking here is survival cooking. It's purely about making the food edible as quickly and efficiently as possible. Though that's not to say that they don't enjoy it. Regarding the animal itself, the vervet monkey is not endangered. In fact, some farmers see these monkeys as farm-destroying pests. The Hadza see them the way they see all wild animals, as food.
As suspected, they've just charred the entire monkey, kind of burning off its fur completely. Now they're taking off all the limbs. Oh God, he's making me hold the head. So he's eating it right now. He's got the arm. It's unusual because I thought they're going to cook it a lot longer on the fire, but the arm itself, even the hair, they don't try to get it off. They're not scraping it off. It burns, it singes off, and then they just start eating.
The organs are roasted near the fire for later consumption. As a reward for a good hunt, a few dogs get a bit of intestine. Just a few steps away, under the shade of a tree, the Hadza women are doing their own meal prep.
There you go. It looks like they've got a big pot of ugali, just made from corn flour and water. They're probably gonna pair that with some more monkey meat, I assume.
So now they remove the skin and then they cook it.
Half the meat is chopped down to size, and half will be saved for this evening's dinner.
I'm slightly out of my comfort zone right now. This is a lot more than I expected and a lot more than I'm used to seeing right off the bat. I predicted that maybe we'd go on a hunt and we'd build up to a moment like this, and instead I've arrived and boom, we're right here eating a monkey. So I'm doing my best to kind of keep it together, document it, and explain to you what I see happening here at the same time. Now I'm gonna go join the guys and see if they are eating the organs or what they're doing now.
Back at the hunter's camp, the meat is disappearing fast. Nothing here goes to waste. Any desperate hyenas wandering through the camp tonight will sulk away, sorely disappointed. As promised, they've saved some pieces for me.
It's still steaming, it's still hot.
In a world where every calorie is chased down and hunted, this offering is one of immense generosity that I simply cannot refuse.
Let's try it out. That's really tough. That's all. Oh, he's gonna cut, he's shaving off a piece of skin.
Maybe you eat, you're supposed to chewing, and 3 minutes, and then you swallow.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a piece he's given me. I have no idea what part this is, and actually, I kind of like it that way.
I was after
Man, not my favorite. It is a peculiar taste, incomparable to any other kind of protein I've had in my life. It's not all that pleasant. First of all, it's chewy. Kind of a bitter taste to it. It's a little bit earthy and a little bit wormy, for lack of a better word. Part of me hopes that this isn't what human tastes like. I don't want to know what human tastes like. All right, I've officially eaten monkey. There's no going back from that. I think if I lived out here, I'd be the first person in the tribe to become vegan.
Up in the women's camp, the meat is gathered in a pot for boiling. The meat itself is seasoned with only salt. When it's well cooked, lunch can begin. In the meantime,
I have some questions. Can I ask you? You're hunting, but why don't you eat goats or cows or stuff like that?
this is Ch'aba, a skilled hunter and smoking enthusiast.
They have already eaten.
They've eaten goat?
Yes.
He's regaling us with stories of a goat hunt, using Hadza, the click language unique to the Hadzabe.
I love the way this guy speaks. So what is your favorite food?
Their favorite is baboon. It's the traditional for them. If maybe they go to hunting, they hear sound of the baboon. And they ambush and they go to hunting.
Baboons are the prized kill for hunters here, weighing in at 30 to 80 pounds and sporting deadly vampiric fangs. Hunting baboons with bows and arrows is high risk and high reward. Nonetheless, they're allowing me to join tonight's hunt. Scouting starts after lunch. Lunch is served in big cooking pots. Everyone washes their hands, then dives in.
She's just handed me a piece. It's boiled. I'm guessing it has to be better than whatever I just had because that was just completely charred meat with hair. I mean, better than the roasted one, but yeah, that's tough to get used to. That is something real different. Here, can I stink this rest? Yeah. I want to share with you. Okay, cool. Here they have a crap load of ugali and then kind of a broth that's been made from the monkey meat. When I look at how they're doing with the ugali, they make a ball and they put a thumbprint in it like this. That becomes a little ladle and you just dip it right into the broth. Not bad. The broth, it tastes salty and you can taste some of the fat and meat that's kind of boiled out of the monkey itself. Can I ask, what is your name? Her name is Makalitako. Do women hunt here too? Do you ever hunt?
The typical day of a woman here includes gathering edible roots and fruits. Women are also tasked with making bowstrings, building camp, and raising kids. Today, only about 1,300 Hadzabe remain. They live in small nomadic groups of roughly a dozen. The Hadzabe hunters are ready for baboon scouting. Baboon raids are done at night, ensuring the Hadza maintain the element of surprise. Right now, we're headed towards tonight's intended target to get a look. They carry their bows because they always carry their bows. They never know when they'll cross paths with their next meal, be it an animal or this.
There's a fruit here that they're showing me.
I wouldn't suggest eating every berry you come across. But if these guys say it's okay, well, then it's good enough for me.
They want to actually get rid of the skin, so they squeeze out the seed like that, and they throw this part away. So you squeeze the inner seed into your mouth. Throw the skin away. It tastes like beans, like green peas that have not been cooked, quite frankly. That's awesome. These guys just eat and move, eat and move. We've come quite a ways. I'm out of breath. Everyone else here is actually in shape. It turns out this is a baboon spot. I've been told this is where the baboons will join together. Are the baboons here right now?
In the evening, they will come back here. So he said it's where the baboons sleep.
The olive baboon is the most wide-ranging of all baboons. This species is native to 25 countries throughout Africa.
If you look over there, the rock jutting out, it's a lot of different spaces where baboons could hide or sleep at night.
Chaba has found proof that baboons were here recently.
This is a piece of shit.
From baboon, so just eating the fruit. So he said, you can join us at night. The place where now we can hear when they're coming back in the evening. So then after we'll come and attack them.
Twice a week, the Hadza attempt to win a baboon feast. More frequent hunting would chase the troop away forever. To prepare for tonight's raid, these soldiers must stock up on ammunition. Kongoroko is a reliable source for arrows and bows. With enough raw materials in hand, it's time for a quick snack.
They just dug into a tree. They saw what they call some stingless bees. There was a funnel going into a tree, chopped it open, and they peeled out this right here. Take a look.
This is the purest form of honey you'll find anywhere.
Can I try it? Oh, thank you so much. So kind, because this looks delicious. It is still full of tiny little bees. It's waxy, it's sticky. Oh. Yeah, buddy. Very different reaction than the monkey. It's delicious, it's sweet, it's like honey. I mean, it is honey, but somehow it pops even more. It's so good. This type of honey, you suck it, and what remains here, that is just kind of the wax. Oh, what the? He just took the wax from me and he put it behind his ear.
I think the stuff you put behind the ear, so the stingless can smell it and they hope they can find another.
Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. I don't know if it works, but I mean, these guys know a lot about food. I would starve to death out here, but everywhere they look, they see opportunity for something to eat. It's incredible. This is a treasure for the Hadza people. It's this small stream that runs about a few hundred feet away from the main village. They drink from the stream, they use this water for cooking, they use it for everything. Of course, they aren't gonna do anything to pollute it. They will do their best to keep other people's cattle away from it too, so they're not adding any more impure things into the water.
The Hadza lifestyle is in balance with nature because it must be. When they're thirsty, they drink from the stream. But if they block the stream or hoard water, other animals that depend on that water will move away, leaving the Hadza with no food. As the sun approaches the horizon and the men head back to camp, the women start preparing dinner. The remaining bits of monkey are chopped and boiled. This time, it's accompanied by a local herb gathered by the women. The herb is picked and washed. In the meantime, the hunters light a fire to aid in their arrow making.
They're getting these ready for the hunt tonight. They have a very unique way of doing it. They just got this wood earlier. They put the wood in the fire. They use their mouth to kind of adjust it and straighten it. And then from there, they make a point and they put on a steel tip and a feather tip. It's more complicated than that, but that's the easy version of what they do.
cooking tree. Boiled meat joins fresh herbs. On the side, a new pot of ugali is bubbling. Once satisfied with their arrow-making progress, the guys do what guys have been doing from the beginning of time. Barbecue, using some leftover meat from today's hunt. What you see here is a common cooking method among many African tribes. With nightfall around the corner, another fire is lit in a half-built hut to offer warmth to those inside. This is a temporary shelter made of dry grass over a frame of intertwined branches. Though from what I've gathered, houses are rarely used here unless seeking shelter from rain.
As soon as the sun goes down here, it's pitch black. There's nothing out here except for our own lights that we brought now. These guys have great vision in the night, they hunt in the night, and they do everything else they need to do when it's still dark. Or they have the light of the fire and that's it. Right here they have the skewer from the monkey. Looks like it's about done. Okay, he gave me a macro piece. This is an honor, it's a gift. It's not like they have a refrigerator stocked with food. This is the food. After this, they have to go out and earn more food. So I am not one to deny a gift like this. Second time today, prepared in a slightly different way. This time, more pleasant for sure. Before, the taste was really affected by the burnt hair, the burnt skin. It still has a very unique taste. In some ways, it's chickeny, but then it has like that red hemoglobin that beef does. It's probably not gonna become one of my comfort foods anytime soon, but I'm starting to get it a little bit more. Why they're into it is very different. The fact that it doesn't look like a monkey anymore is helping me out quite a bit. I gotta say, these guys are extremely generous. This food is not easy to come by, and just to even get one bite is quite an honor. Go Bea, thank you.
Dinner is ready. Boiled meat, herbs, and ugali. I know I could join them, but I decide to stand back. In the Hadza community, everyone contributes to the meal and everyone receives an equal share. It may be a function of kindness or the fact that if you're too greedy here, you won't be around for long. From the sideline, the dogs look on with empty bellies. They need to be hungry for the upcoming hunt. After that, they'll be rewarded. With dinner out of the way, it seems the only task left undone is the baboon hunt. Just as the hunters worry about the dogs growing lethargic, it seems they have fallen into the same trap.
Unfortunately, after everybody ate, they didn't have the fire in their belly, maybe because they had too much monkey in their belly, and they went to sleep. Seeing them go to sleep is interesting. They legitimately just sleep outside. They might put a mat or a piece of fabric underneath them, but that is where they're most comfortable sleeping. You might ask, why don't they build better houses or build more houses? Well, it's because they're nomadic. Very few people anymore around the world are truly nomadic. I mean, the true reason for any group to be nomadic is because they have to follow their food, and that's exactly what they do here. And so they've just gotten used to living this way over years and years of doing this. So that is the end of this day. They're all tucked in. I'm gonna get tucked in too, and we'll see you in the morning.
Their day starts as every other, with a cigarette and the preparation of their weapons. A few steps away, the women are busy making breakfast. Ugali is the go-to option since they ran out of monkey meat last night. While they prepare, I get to know the chief.
What's your name? Sakuromaka. I'll work on it. Last night at 4:15 a.m. I woke up and I heard some sound like ooh, ooh. What was that?
He said the sound is hyena. When the dog bark at night, they get out to chase the hyena, because sometimes hyena can eat the dog.
Really?
Yeah.
The dogs and the Hadza have a mutually symbiotic relationship. The dogs help the men hunt, and in return, they're fed.
Today, are you going to bring the dogs for hunting?
To put their dogs in their best frame of mind for the upcoming hunt, they're not given breakfast. After this meal, all 5 hunters will head to the savannah in search of today's protein, led by the chief, Sakado. Then Ch'aba, the storyteller and skilled tracker. Then there's Ngufufu, the muscle. This is Anda. I call him the sharpshooter. You'll find out why soon. Last is young Dunya, the eager mentee.
We're in the forest already. These guys move so fast. Somehow they're able to take in their surroundings and see if there's anything worth killing while they move this fast.
Today, the tribe doesn't set out with a target in mind. Any wild animal that crosses their path could be added to tonight's menu, from field mice and birds to giraffes and lions.
This is gross. They flew into a tree and they just narrowly missed it, so he sounds a little pissed off right now. All right, the hunt continues.
As the number of large animal populations have dwindled over time, the most frequent catches these days are the dik-dik, impalas, bush pigs, vervet monkeys, baboons, and the mongoose.
He's looking for a mongoose.
The mongoose sleek bodies, ranging in length from 7 inches to 2 feet, are perfect for slipping into cracks and crevices, away from the hunter's sight or reach. In situations like this, the dog's talent is put to use.
Right now they're in the rocks behind me, doing their best to dig around and see if they can get mongoose.
They scent the prey and alert the hunters. They corner and pin down animals, waiting for the hunters to show up and finish the job.
It just ran down there. There's one guy down there. It just got away. Looks like we won't be eating mongoose today.
It doesn't take long for Sakura to discover another lead.
This is bush pig. Wow, it's so tiny. I don't know how he notices this stuff. You can just see where the 2 pig toes would be. That's it.
The further they follow the nearly unseeable pig tracks, the deeper we descend into this matrix of foliage.
The intensity is now bumped up a bit because we are going through thick forests with lots of shit like this.
In every capacity possible, these guys are built for this. Well, not so much.
And this one, it looks like cute little leaves, and then you touch it, and instantly, you can't get the fuck out of it. If you get what I'm saying here. We've been at this for an hour and a half. I don't know how these guys do it. It's not just the cardio, it's the uncertainty. It's the fact that they're walking into a thick jungle. He's wearing half an animal skin back here, and he's still kicking more ass than me.
In my fatigued state, I barely even spotted these.
Whoa.
This is a colony of matabele ants.
They actually do not eat these. When I asked why, they said, well, because they bite. But I've been to Myanmar, I've been to Cambodia. They eat ants, and they also eat ants that bite. They're so sour. Maybe they just don't have a method for it, or maybe it's just not to their taste. I've never seen anything like this though. They're huge, they're swarming. Just outside the holes of their nest, it looks like they're eggs. I'm not sure why the eggs would be outside their hole. Maybe they're doing some spring cleaning, take the eggs out, dust it off inside, bring the eggs back in. Probably not that, but I don't know. Mainly I just wanted to rest while they keep hunting.
While I was distracted by the ants, Anda laid eyes on a new target.
Yes, bro.
First prize of the day, a blue-naped mouse bird, put down by the sharpshooter. To celebrate, how about a quick smoke? Tobacco is one of the very few items the Hadza acquire through trade with neighboring tribes. This tobacco specifically comes from the Datoga people. Tobacco and papers accompany the Hadza in almost every activity. When they warm up in the morning, when they cook, when they make weapons, pretty much any time of day or night.
Chief, how you doing? How you feel?
For us, we are strong and we can keep on going for the bush pig.
Is this a normal hunt? Do you feel disappointed, or is this kind of usual? Like you try a lot, you miss a lot, and then finally you get one?
This is normal, it can take a long time, but we don't give up. We still continue until the evening.
Going through these thickets, I've got a shirt on. It's not a good shirt, but it's a bit tough. There's a lot of stuff that scratches you. Does it not bother you? Are you not getting scratched by the plants?
So for them it's okay, but he's asking you, do you have a lot of
Scratch? Yeah, no, I'm good. I will not project weakness. If you guys go back with no meat, will the women mock you? Because I know my wife would mock me.
What? He said no. If we not succeed, it's okay.
But you know what? We're gonna succeed.
Perhaps I could contribute to today's catch by asking the tribe to slightly alter their diet. These are dung beetles, and I've eaten them before in Thailand.
But here, the Hadza, they do not eat dung beetles. Their insect game seems to be pretty weak. They eat the honey, but I'm not even sure if they would eat the bees themselves. This is a male getting a big ball of poop. He's gonna wheel it back to his lady, and then she's gonna lay eggs in there. This is a very romantic moment. And it could be dinner. I'm gonna talk to these guys about this. This is a good idea. You know, it's a lot easier than meat.
It turns out stopping for the beetle was a mistake. Once again, the signs they read lead them into another maze of sticky leaves and thorns. I finally concede. I am exhausted.
We have gone 5.7 miles. We kind of lost most of the party. Well, we still got this guy. Hey. 4 people are still hunting, and they went into the really thick stuff that I don't know if I could get my big, tall, lumbering German ass through, period. Our only choice now is to kind of double back to camp. I have no idea how far that is, by the way. I'm hoping it's not 5.7 miles. Hopefully we've been going in circles. I don't know.
With Dunya, the mentee, in the lead, I head back to camp defeated.
We've walked over 7 miles now. I hope now you guys can see there's no way this could be scripted, outlined, or planned. I would have loved to catch something within an hour. Something big, something crazy, a freaking antelope. But no, it did not happen. So we just got back to camp. The guy who brought us back is next to a rock over there. In fact, he is out like a rock. Hunting, it is a lot harder than I thought. From 8 a.m. to about 2 p.m., we walked 8.5 freaking miles. I do think it's a little bit tough with us there. I think there's no way that we weren't either slowing them down or creating extra noise. But now I can see on any given day, nothing is guaranteed. You just gotta be lucky. You have to have the right skill. You have to have the right timing and the right teamwork. That's why I said yesterday when they offered me monkey multiple times that they are very kind and very giving, because that is not easy to come by. So they're gonna come back soon. Let's see what they've got. Oh my God, they've just returned. Boom, boom. You look like you've been through hell. Look at you. Guys, let's see the final result. What the heck?
This is known as a klipspringer, a type of dwarf antelope living on rocky terrain in Africa. But that's not all they got.
And this guy, he has a monkey. And there's another monkey here. This is insane. What have you guys been doing? I can't believe it.
One klipspringer, 2 vervet monkeys, a mongoose, a blue-naped mouse bird, and a bunch of baobab fruit. This is a high-end, multi-course feast for the Hadzabe. First, the chalky baobab pulp is stirred into a drink to refresh the weary hunters. The baobab fruit is a hidden treasure of Africa's wild. Its pulp contains 10 times the antioxidants of oranges, and with 6 times the vitamin C. While the women get to work in their open kitchen, the men take time to rest and enjoy their triumph.
So we got a mongoose. What do you call this?
Zo is the sound of this animal, so they call zo.
Oh, I love whenever they talk about the animals here, they also mention the sound that they make too. So they're gonna cook this up soon.
Small animals like this mongoose are handled by the women. Quimbili, the unrelated elder of this Hadzabe group, leads most of the cooking activities. She chars the mongoose until its hair burns off. That is just an appetizer.
Can you grab the monkey? Ooh, okay. Oh my gosh, it's still warm.
The mongoose is no catch. This monkey, the guy showed it.
Ufufu and Chaba, the 2 hunters who put down these monkeys, have the honor of keeping their tails as trophies. They'll be used to decorate their bows. The meat is shared with everyone. The first monkey is cooked by the men. They roast the organs as soon as they leave the body. The remaining meat is portioned, skewered, and barbecued. The second monkey is handed to the women. It's chopped in pieces and brought to a boil with local herbs. All the intestines are given to the dogs to reward them for a successful hunt. The hunt that I missed altogether.
How'd you get the klipspringer? You got it? Yeah, buddy.
The The klipspringer is not an easy catch. This nocturnal mammal can be found on rocky terrain going up as high as 15,000 feet on Mount Kilimanjaro. Its yellowish-gray coat is an effective camouflage against a rocky backdrop, but still not enough to escape a skilled hunter.
He said he showed it was the arrow poison.
Holy cow, I mean, that's enough food for a couple of days. I wouldn't be surprised if they just start eating this today and tomorrow.
Big animals like the klipspringer are skinned and cleaned by the men. They carefully remove the poisonous arrow that pierced the animal's stomach. The offals are grilled straight away, while the stomach and the carcass are sent to the women. Here, the little mongoose is ready, so they chew on it as a snack while preparing a more substantial meal. The klipspringer leg is chopped and simmered. The rest is hung over a tree for later use. That is the closest thing they have to a refrigerator.
Do you need to hunt tomorrow, or can you just chill for a couple of days?
He said we just eat this, but tomorrow goes for the baboon.
The klipspringer's stomach, which has been contaminated by the poison paste, must be washed thoroughly before eating. Out here, there's only one way to check if the poison is still present. She tastes it, and if it's bitter, she spits it out, knowing that it'll require more washing. After a few tastings, the stomach fails the poison test and it's left on the tree. At the same time, the hunters are enjoying the fruits of their labor.
Right here is the klipspringer organs. They eat the organs first. The organs are really prized, they're delicious. And they're right here in my hand. Actually pretty good. It tastes like liver, like a medium preparation. It's got some blood and hair on it. Why do you guys eat the organs first?
They say this one is easy to cook.
It's hard to ascertain the unwritten rules of dining etiquette here. It seems anyone can cook what they know best and eat as soon as it's done.
Whoa.
Nevertheless, some dishes are saved for a group dinner.
It's similar to a goat. I've had goat heart many times, so not too crazy. I mean, not compared to what I started off with yesterday. Let's try it out. It's good. Barbecue, properly done, cooked all the way through. I like it. How do you say yummy?
Uniako.
Ah, uniako.
Last on the menu, the bird. Right now, it's in the hand of Ch'aba's wife, Makali Tako. She feathers the bird and throws it in the fire. While the humans are waiting for their dinner, the dogs have their turn. Sakado prepares a feast of ugali for his hunting companions.
Hey.
Shoma.
Then he watches over them as they dive in, ensuring each dog gets an equal share. A well-deserved meal for this intrepid dog pack. Some still bear the scars of previous hunts. Finally, tonight's main course brings everyone from the tribe together.
So we've got ugali, we've got a soup from the klipspringer, and then here we have vegetables and the monkey. What part do you suggest that I try? Oh, ugali, so exotic. All right, he's grabbing some for me. So he's giving me the gravy, kind of the broth, I should say, from the klipspringer. The ugali is kind of like mashed potatoes in a way. Almost every meal they eat, it's a lot of ugali and a bit of protein giving flavor to the ugali. Oh, take more meat. It's one of the better things I've eaten here so far. It's pretty tender, it's juicy, it tastes a little bit goaty and maybe a little bit like deer as well. He takes the broth and he just drinks it. And I believe that's delicious. Oh, thank you. I mean, it's like a normal animal broth. All the essence of the animal that's kind of leaked into the water or into the broth. It's actually quite delicious. One of the better things I've tried so far. It sure as hell beats monkey arm from yesterday. Gobea, Gobea. Thank you. This is the end of day 2 with the Hadza tribe. The way they live here, it continuously blows my mind. One thing that shocks me the most is just how kind and giving everyone here is. I don't think there's anything I could do to offend the people here. Not that I would want to, but whether it's food, whether it's just asking them to wait a second or wait for us so we can catch up to them, everyone's very patient. I've never seen any moment of frustration, anger, or anything like that among anybody here.
Any given Hadza group is formed by those who wish to be there. Any member can join or leave of their own free will. In fact, Ch'aba and his wife are the only ones here bound as family members. Whether you're a young hunter, an older woman, or some yokel from Minnesota. Out here, sharing equals survival. Even though hunting here is an ancient practice, the Hadza have developed sophisticated tools to take down anything from a delicate bird to a towering giraffe. On my third and final day with this tribe, I'm on a mission to dive deeper into this hunting lifestyle.
Do you think you will live this way the rest of your life?
But first, breakfast. A modest breakfast of leftover monkey meat will sustain them until lunch.
A couple nights ago, there was a hyena in the camp. You guys have a klipspringer just hanging from a tree. Are you ever worried about animals coming into your camp to take your food?
No animal, they're afraid because they have bow and arrows, so they can shoot with their bow and arrows.
Here, making and refining bows and arrows is the morning routine. Those who acquired the monkey's tails from yesterday's hunt use its skin to decorate bows and keep any split in the wood from spreading.
They slit part of the skin in half and then they slide it down onto the bow staff. They cut it off and so it creates these little like ringlets. And it looks really cool. I mean, the monkey probably wouldn't be a fan.
Others start new bows from scratch. While there is no rule against women hunting, Hadza bows draw between 50 to 100 pounds of force, which restricts most women from participating in the single mode of hunting used here. However, the bowstrings are only made by women, traditionally using the ligaments of large animals.
And then on this side, they're making kind of a small bow. Where will these bows end up?
They give to their little boys.
Bows and arrows are the first toys a Hadza boy receives, a practical gift to prepare them for the brutal hunter-gatherer life ahead.
You know, nearby you is the Datoga people. They're very pastoral. They have a bunch of animals, cows, goats, and so on. And you interact here and there. What do you like about your lifestyle versus what you witness or what you see from the Datoga people?
The special things for them is to hunt. They like to live in this life. They don't want to be changed. But they like other people like Iraq or Datoga because they get some stuff from this tribe.
Despite living a nomadic hunter-gatherer life, the Hadza maintained a trading relationship with neighboring tribes. Tobacco and metal arrows are valuable goods they can only get through trade. But a Hadza arrow is more than just metal and wood. Shaving, heating, and straightening is required for all arrows. But each arrow has a unique tip suited to hunting a different creature. Ufufu walks me through his personal collection.
Ufufu, that's his name. And then I have no idea what else he just said.
He said, I'm going to explain about the different arrows. This one, it's called udunduako.
This is like a corn cob and then just kind of a piece of wood.
They use for the small birds and also for the small animals like squirrel, the bush baby, and the sound of the bird. They said when they shoot it, the bird is still alive. Just take it and bite it to finish, and then they put under the belt. This one they use for the rock hyrax, and also they use for the mongoose because you can see the small things here.
Right, there's like a hook.
When they shoot small animals, so they can pull from the hole or inside the caves. This arrow is called kasama. He mentioned two animals and they use for this arrow. The one is bush pig. When they shoot the bush pig, so this arrow is very sharp, so it goes inside and destroy inside.
That was such epic storytelling. What is the biggest animal that you've ever seen hunted?
The big animals he killed is antelope. He talked about this arrow they use for the big animal, the poison arrow.
Poison is what allows a Hadza to transform simple arrows into a deadly threat for larger prey. But where do they get the poison? And how do they make it? Equipped with a steel pot, the hunters head into the nearby forest. Here, each member attends to a different task. On one side, Landa, the sharpshooter, and Dunha, the mentee, start a small fire. A little further away, Ufufu is crafting a wooden stake. Which Abba and Sakuro inspect a desert rose tree. This tree will soon become a deadly poison capable of taking down a giraffe or a zebra. Back at camp, the women warm up their outdoor kitchen for lunch prep. The remaining klipspringer from the previous day's hunt is portioned. The rest is tossed back on the tree for future use. Quinbali checks for any remaining poison in the meat. If it's bitter, she spits it out and moves on. That bitter toxin is the same one these hunters are making now.
I thought it would be something that's in the leaves. Maybe I've seen too many movies. They're looking for something that's within the tree, almost like a sap, a latex type material. They're gonna extract that and then somehow convert that into a poison that can go on the tip of an arrow and then hopefully into an animal.
Using the stake, Cha'aba pierces the tree. Though this desert rose tree is native to Africa, most who pass by it would never guess the dangerous compounds that can be unlocked from within. With a piece of cloth, they squeeze the tree's pulp, retrieving its liquid. Back at camp, the chopped klipspringer is washed thoroughly and brought to a boil. Quinbali carries out the tedious task of skimming any hair from the water's surface. A few steps away, the dogs enjoy their own morning treat. In the forest, things are also heating up.
The poison, it's in the pot. They had to boil it for about an hour. It's not exactly about making it hot, but about boiling away the water. That way it'll become thick and they can actually properly apply it to their arrow tips as needed. Since we have the time, I wanted to ask the chief a few more questions. First of all, what makes a good chief?
The best hunter who hunt a lot of animals.
Are you the best hunter here? Can you say that?
Say yes.
Do they agree? I'm curious because you guys hunt so many different types of animals. Even in just the time I've been here, you've got 3 monkeys. But you know, it takes a lot of time for animals to reproduce, to grow, especially to become viable for consumption. Over the years that you've been hunting or over your lifetime, is it harder to get animals now than when you were younger?
In wet season, they can find a lot of animals, but in dry season, sometimes they don't find it.
Centuries ago, seasonal changes didn't present a challenge to the Hadza as they moved according to animal migration. These days, the lands they once roamed are owned, protected, fenced, paved, or cleared for crops. If animals migrate into government-controlled reserves, they cannot follow. When the poison reaches the desired thickness, it's scraped from the pot. The hunters head back to camp. Cha'aba softens the poison paste by rolling it in ash and smashing it with a stone. They carefully wrap the paste around the arrow behind the tip. Once the arrow pierces an animal's skin, the poison will absorb into its bloodstream, dropping smaller animals within minutes and larger animals sometime over the course of the day. While the men finalize their weapon making, the women finish meal prep. Markalitiko washes the cooking pot inside and out, the very same pot used to cook the poison. Ugali is a corn flour, mixed with water and stirred until it's solid and smooth like sticky mashed potatoes. It's a common staple in many parts of Africa. But how did it end up here? In fact, how did this isolated society acquire steel pots, genes, or even the permission to live and hunt amongst the animals in Africa's wild? Allow me to pull back the curtain. In order to preserve the Hadza way of life, Tanzanian authorities and NGOs have provided them with substantial goods, including corn flour, salt, the clothing they wear under their animal hides, and even nylon for bowstrings. In addition, the Hadza are the only people not taxed by the national government. Just for myself to come here, I paid for pricey permits that directly fund efforts to sustain this fading culture.
It is my final meal with the tribe here. If we were in the US, this would be enough meat for about 2 people. They're not eating huge quantities of meat. It's almost like they just want to flavor the ugali and enjoy just enough meat to get enough protein and enough satisfaction. But you don't see anyone really gorging themselves on meat alone. The chief has offered for me to partake. This looks like part of the backbone, maybe? Part of a shoulder blade? Oh, this maybe it's dry aged on the tree overnight. It is super gamey and actually tastes a lot more like mutton or goat or something like that today. And grandmother picked out a lot of the hairs. Well, there's a handful of hairs still on here. Have you ever gotten sick from the food you've cooked?
If they feel like stomachache, they can find their local medicine.
I know they moved to this spot about 2 months ago, and eventually they're gonna move to the next spot. When will you move from this camp to a different camp?
It depends. If they still find the animals around, they will still live in the same place. But if not, they have to move.
About every quarter, Hadza groups move camp to avoid overhunting or foraging in any one area. But the more their hunting land is lost, the sooner their culture will be squeezed out of existence. But hope is not lost. By 2011, the Hadza were entitled to 57,000 acres of land. It was the first time Tanzania had ever recognized a minority tribe's land rights. Those numbers pale in comparison to their ancestors, but the Hadza are the land, and as long as there's land, there's hope.
One last bite with the ugali. I got some of the broth here. Not bad. That is it for me. It is bittersweet. I've learned a lot, and I know that I also know almost nothing. There's just so much here. It's so different. It's so unique. It's such an interesting lifestyle.
The Hadza carry with them a living history. I don't have to wonder how man survived thousands of years ago. Here, I can see it for myself. Far from superficial expectations and modern gadgets, here I've found humanity in its purest form. It's contained within the interactions of those who lead you, those who help you, and those who need your help.
I do want to attempt to say in the local language, thank you. Gobea. 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 Ja'aba. Gobea.
Before wrapping up, I'd like to thank our expedition leader, Adam, translator, Yusuf, and local fixer, Gumbo, of Experiential Travel.
Gumbo's been our local fixer. He does fixing and production in several different countries here in Africa. So I'll put his information here. Contact him if you'd like to do pretty much anything in Africa. He can make it happen if it's legal. That is it for this one. There's nothing else to say. You've seen everything on the screen and I put it all out there. I hope you enjoyed it. That is it for this one. I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. A peace. I wonder how they'd say peace. A peace. Peace. I don't know. I can't do it. I need to practice.